Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Boost, the podcast where we explore different ways to stay active, healthy, and happy. I'm your host, Emma, and today we're talking about something that so many of us have tried, given up on, and tried again: jogging. It's simple, accessible, and great for both your body and mind. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to stay motivated or to know where to start. To help us unpack this topic, I'm joined by Zach, an avid amateur jogger who's been running for several years now. He's not a professional athlete, just someone who's made jogging a part of his life. Welcome to the show, Zach.
Hey, Emma, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So, let's start with the basics. How did you get into jogging? Was it love at first step, or did it take a while?
Oh, definitely not love at first step. I actually started jogging because I wanted to get in better shape, but I struggled a lot in the beginning. The first few weeks were tough. Everything hurt. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere and I had to push myself to keep going. But over time, it got easier, and now it's something I genuinely enjoy.
That's such a relatable experience. A lot of people quit early because they feel discouraged. What kept you going through those tough early runs?
Honestly, setting small, realistic goals helped a lot. I didn't start by trying to run 5 miles. I just aimed for short distances at a comfortable pace. Plus, I started focusing on how I felt after a run rather than how tough it was during. The post-run energy boost and mental clarity were game changers.
That's a great point. Speaking of mental clarity, jogging isn't just about physical fitness. It has mental benefits too. What's been your experience with that?
Absolutely. I found that jogging is a great stress reliever. It gives me time to clear my head, reflect, or even just enjoy some music or a podcast. There's something about the rhythmic movement and fresh air that helps me reset mentally.
That's so true. But let's talk obstacles, because they're real. Motivation is a big one. What do you do on those days when you just don't feel like running?
Oh, I definitely have those days. What helps me is reminding myself why I started. Also, I make it as easy as possible, laying out my running clothes the night before, keeping my run short when I need to, and even rewarding myself with a good breakfast or coffee after a run. Accountability helps too. Running with a friend or tracking my progress keeps me going.
Love those tips. Now, another big challenge: injuries. Have you dealt with any, and how did you get through them?
Unfortunately, yes. I had shin splints early on, which were really frustrating. I learned that running too much too soon was the issue. Warming up properly, stretching, and having the right shoes made a huge difference. Also, rest days are important. Your body needs time to recover.
Yes, rest is just as important as movement. And speaking of balance, how do you fit jogging into a busy lifestyle?
It's all about making it a priority without overcomplicating it. I treat it like any other appointment. If I schedule it, I'm more likely to do it. Sometimes it's just a quick 20-minute jog in the morning or a run during my lunch break. The key is consistency, not perfection.
Such great advice. Now, let's dive into some common myths about jogging. One thing I often hear is that you have to be fast to be a real jogger. What's your take on that?
That's such a myth. Pace doesn't matter. What matters is that you're moving and enjoying the process. Some of the best runners take it slow and steady. It's about endurance, not speed.
Exactly. Another one is that running will destroy your knees. Did you ever worry about that?
I did at first, but then I learned that with proper form, good shoes, and not overdoing it, jogging is actually beneficial for joint health. Strengthening the muscles around the knees can help prevent injuries.
Great to hear. And what about the myth that you need expensive gear to start?
Totally untrue. All you really need is a good pair of running shoes. Fancy gear can be nice, but it's not necessary to get started.
Such good points. Before we wrap up, for anyone listening who wants to start jogging but doesn't know where to begin, what's your best beginner-friendly advice?
Start slow and keep it simple. Walk-run intervals are a great way to ease in, like jogging for 1 minute, then walking for 2 and repeating. Don't worry about speed or distance at first, just focus on moving, and most importantly, be patient with yourself. Progress takes time, but it's worth it.
I love that. Zach, thank you so much for sharing your experience and advice. You've given us a lot of motivation to get out there and start jogging.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, and happy jogging to everyone listening.
And that's it for today's episode of English Boost. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend who might need a little jogging inspiration. Follow us on social media for more tips and motivation. Until next time, stay active and take care.